Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kate, the Wrestling Makeup Artist. Hey friend, welcome back. Y'all, we gotta get ready. And we're not getting ready for anything fun. I'm actually gonna be very transparent. Oh my gosh. Okay, whew. Sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. I am getting myself ready because tomorrow I am flying out to Georgia for my grandmother's funeral. She couldn't hold on a little bit longer. Like, really, lady? Come on. I'm really not looking forward to this trip. And if I am being completely transparent, this is the very first loss that I have had in my life. At the tender age of 30, because I will be 30 by the time this even get posted. Yeah, I'll be 30. And I had both of my grandmothers. I never really met my grandfathers and all of that. But I've always known my grandmothers, especially my father's mother, who I lived with, I grew up with. I have a lot of memories with her. And this happened on December 16th, 2024. Now, I'm going to dry my hair and I'm going to come back and they'll be able to chat with you because you won't be able to hear me while this blow dryer that I don't like. I actually just have to use it because I spent a lot of money on it. I wouldn't use this for clients, but I use it on myself. I just washed my extensions. This is a sew-in. I'm going to put that down or what have you. Get my little lace up front, right? But so far this side is almost dry. This side is still a little damp. I got my heat protectant in. I'm really ready to just be done with this hair. I wash this at least once a week. At least once a week I go ahead and wash the entire thing. Because you still want to treat it like real hair because this is raw hair. And there's this girl, if I can remember your name, I'm going to put it down here. You asked me about the Hair VV wig that I got, my very first like really, really expensive wig. And let me just tell you, there's a big difference between hair like that and raw hair. The huge difference, honey. Huge difference. And I didn't realize, I thought it was really good, like solid quality hair until up until last month. I was wearing it and I'm like, there is more shedding than I have ever had. More tangling than I have ever had. And I ask people with naturally long hair, I'm like, does your hair just naturally tangle? Because I feel like when it comes to weaves, we're like, oh, I don't want my hair tangling and fall out and shed and all of that. But it's like, it's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to shed. I feel like I haven't found a brand that does not shed. A brand that does not tangle up. This hair tangles up not as easily and not as fast as Hair VV or who did I get? Beautiful Forever Hair. That one, after I colored it, yo. Whole new beast, man. I colored it, I deep conditioned. I really tried to treat it the best I could. And I didn't even lift it high. I lifted to like a level 8, level 7, level 8. And I did some caramel walnutty situation in the hair. It was really cute. But no. I guess she was not hearing me for all of that. And I respect it. I respect it. You gotta do what you gotta do, girl. But the hair is not hearing like what it was. I loved it when I first got it, but now I've had it for at least 3 years at this point. So I feel like I should be expecting some type of shedding. So I honestly feel like it's ran its course. I've had it. I've used it. I did so many different styles with it. Right now it has a curtain bang to it. So it's like the hair is used up. It's used up. When I first got it, it was not tangly. It was not a lot of shed. I loved how thin it was. It was sleek and smooth. I love that part of it. But now that I've had it for some time, there's a lot of wear and tear into it. So I feel like you will get a good, solid 2-3 years out of some good hair like that. I'm not going to sit here and say, I hate the brand. You just have to be realistic. You're not going to have the same type of hair from when you first bought it. Especially with environment, the products that you're using, how you're treating it. Do you do, heat protectants on your extensions every time you put heat to your hair? That plays a big role. And honestly, when it comes to extensions, you want to treat it just the same as you would with your actual hair. Hence, that's why I wash it once a week, let it air dry for a little bit, throw a heat protectant in it, and then I'll start to blow it and straighten it, what have you. In the mornings, if I'm going to do a little curl to it, I'll do a little spritz of something, You really just have to be protecting your hair every single time. if you want good quality hair to last. And I will say, Hair Vivi has good quality hair. I love their curly hair because I got their curly hair, and then I also got their straight, and I was in love with that. And now I'm just like, okay, it's worn. Let me get a new one. So, get me a new one. So that's the update on that hair. I really would have loved for you guys to see it. I don't know if it's in my other, because I just got another, what you call these thingies? I got another memory card because my other one was completely full. And when I just don't have motivation to edit, it's not happening. It's not happening. And I can't blame nobody but myself. So, to answer your question, the hair is still good. It's not great. It's good now. It's good. But I feel like I'm definitely going to get another wig, another Hair Vivi wig, and, you know, show it some love. And I'm going to get a colored wig because I have so much black. I have a black this, and then I have a black with a little bit of caramel pieces in there. That hair, it's like, it's good when it's good, but Lord, when it tangles, it tangles. And to me, I could be looking super cute with big, sexy curls, just living my life in Sephora. Everything's going well, and I can't even run my hands through my hair. Like this, I can run my hands through it. Even while it's wet, I can run my hands through it. That wig from Beauty Forever Hair, no ma'am. No ma'am. And when I tell you it tangles up right at the root. Right at the root, honey. And I just be so confused. And it feels like I'm forcing a comb to go through it. I'm like, babes, when we left the house, I can run my hands through it. Life was good. You know, I had a little hairspray, but nothing crazy. Like, why do you act like that? But apparently all long hair acts like that. So, whatever. Whatever. Do I get tangling with this? Yeah, but not nearly as crazy as the Hair Vivi, the Beauty Forever. This is just moderate. If I'm at Sephora and let's say I'm coming back, I always keep a comb on me. Always keep a comb on me. I could do a bam, bam, bam. Be done. Be done. So that is that. So let me just go ahead and get this right and dry, and then we'll come back straight in and get all up here nice and right, and I will tell you more about my granny. I tell you guys, it's hot in here. And I really can't complain because the other day the battery in our thermostat went out, so it wasn't like alerting it to turn on at a certain time or like at a certain temperature. It was brick. And if you know me, you know I live in New York. It's cold out here. It is cold, and I feel like a lot of New Yorkers forget what the cold winter is like. We haven't really had a cold winter in such a long time. But no, it's cold out here. It's cold, it's windy, it's like 20 something degrees, give or take. I'm just getting a little, where'd you come from, girl? Okay. I got the perfect amount of thread. I have a little track back here that's loose, and that's okay. I'm alright with that because I did it myself. So I'm expecting to, I don't want to say I'm expecting it to fall apart, but I'm not expecting it to be anything amazing because when you're doing it yourself and at different angles, it's not like, it's different when you're braiding your own hair. But sewing in something, like, ooh, Lord have mercy. So, somewhere up back here, there's a little track that needs a little stitch to get her right back where she needs to be. Yep, there you go, girl. Right here. I got you covered. Where do I begin about this lady? I've known this lady since 95. 90 fucking 5. Love her. I mean, as I do, I don't know, I keep saying I have. I'm so used to saying I have both my grandmothers, and now it's like I only have one left. But for the sake of this conversation, my father's mother's name, I call her Nene. My oldest cousin Candace started that, and then the rest of us just kind of followed suit with it. My mother's mother, I call her Granny, and that's how we differentiate the two. Nene and Granny. And every now and then you may hear me slip up and say Granny, but just know that I'm talking about Nene. Okay? Nene used to babysit me for my entire life. As soon as I was born, she was babysitting me. Especially while Daddy was at work. She would babysit, Auntie would babysit. I really did have the village raising me. And I'm super grateful for it. Super grateful. I remember all the errands Nene and I would run together. Back in the day, there used to be a Church's Chicken on Jamaica Ave. That's no longer there. We used to walk past the fish market, the one on Sufton Boulevard. It's a nice little blue awning. And if you know me, you know I have a sick memory for things. And that's so crazy. I can remember stuff like that. Certain sayings that she used to make or say, like, I remember it all. I remember it all. And then when I lived there, because I lived there to go to the school, PS 65, in Ozone Park. I really wasn't doing good in school in Queens. I went to PS 223. School was shit. I gotta catch myself. The school was not the best. And therefore, it wasn't the best learning wise. I really wasn't getting it. Especially since my mind is on arts, it's on crafts, it's on all things beauty, it's not on math or spelling and all of that. I needed help in those areas. So I ended up going to PS65, which was a great change for me for a school. Um, she's the one who got me into the Boys and Girls Club because all of my cousins, so check this out. My grandmother has 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. My father's the youngest. The oldest is my auntie. And then we have Uncle John and then Aunt Diane and then we have my dad. And then as they grew up and started having lives of their own, my grandmother decided that she wanted children again. So she adopted 4 boys and she took care of them. And now we're all around the same age. So I'm not going to say any names here. I don't know if they ever want to be mentioned, but there were 4 of them and then it was me. So it's 5. 5 children. I lived upstairs with Auntie. She had all 4 of them downstairs. And I can always remember us playing and playing in a TV room. Nene had so many VCRs. And while she's cooking dinner, because she's cooking dinner for 5 of us, Nene was like the queen of quick meals. Queen of quick meals. And one of my favorite quick little cheap meals would be old Chinese for rice with a little knob of butter. Now, mind you, I watched her make some dishes. And the only reason why I watched her is because if you're like cutting up in the TV room with everybody, you're getting in trouble, she'll call you and you have to sit by the front door. By the front door of the kitchen. You bet not ask to get up. The good thing is that there's a TV there in the kitchen and she'll be either watching Wheel of Fortune. You know the shows that come on in the evening time. She'll be watching one of those. And you'll stay there until either she feel like it's good enough time, you learned your lesson, you can go back out and play, or you're going to stay there until, dinner is finished. So I watched her make some of these meals. So white rice, a little knob of butter, and she would do Vienna sausages. And every now and then she would do like a sweet pea in there. But most times it was white rice, Vienna sausages, one of my favorites. If it wasn't SpaghettiOs or any other quick meal, my favorite. Where's the string at so I don't cut my hair? There we go. All right. Our track is back in place, honey. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. Now we're going to work on getting this lace right. And then I'll definitely say we all had dinner together as a family. All of us. Every night. Having dinner together. Doesn't matter what she made. Everybody had their seat. Everybody, I can vividly remember her house, vividly remember her kitchen, everything about this location. It's crazy because I dream about it at night. Like everybody has like certain dream locations. Like I'm always, don't fight me, but I be dreaming about work. Who dreams about work? Me. I'm either dreaming about the salon, I'm dreaming about Sephora, I'm dreaming about my old doctor's office. It's very rare I dream about being a police officer, but it pops up every now and then. But it's mainly just like the location. And then Nene's house, which is Nene and Auntie's house. And when I think of Nene and Auntie, they're a package deal. So the way Nene's house was set up was she owned the whole house. And it was a basement, the middle, and the top. But they were all separate apartments. So Nene lived in the front, the first floor, and Auntie lived upstairs. It was excellent. It was excellent. Living upstairs with Auntie was great. There's a huge difference between Auntie's house and Nene's house, although they're just a flight away. Auntie had minimal stuff. She kept it nice and clean. It smelled like incense and potpourri and all. Auntie's place was super chill. Daddy always said that Nene was a hoarder. I didn't realize Nene was a hoarder until an adult, which is like now. So I'm thinking about all the canned goods that would just be lined up on the hallway, the kitchen itself with the thing in the middle of the table. It wasn't like in the middle of the table, it was like on the wall. It was like a half table. Let me see if I can do that right. It was a half table and there was so many rubber bands and stuff like right in the middle. So I would sit on one end and then everybody else would sit around that way. And then Nene would sit close to the stove and we would all eat together. She'd always have dessert for us. That was that. If you're walking around in her house, you better have your footies on. I will never forget. And I thought about that word the other day. I haven't thought about that word in God knows how long, but I thought about that word the other day. It popped up on me and I was like, I have not remembered that word since I was a kid. My goodness. Nene drove us to school. She picked us up, dropped us off at the Boys and Girls Club, made sure we had a snack before we left. If we wanted to change our clothes, we could do that. The Boys and Girls Club was up the block, so it wasn't like she was far, but Nene traveled. Nene did a lot of errands, going to the doctor's office, Fort Hamilton, the Pathmark that used to be over there on Atlantic Avenue that's no longer a Pathmark. I don't know what's over there now. I don't know. It was only one time I found myself sitting by her house. I was supposed to be somewhere and I really didn't want to go, and I was like, I'm gonna go play hooky. I wasn't in school or anything, but I was like, I'm not going to where I need to be. Let me go find somewhere to sit. I had no idea where to go. And then my heart just led me over to Nene's house. So there I was, parked in front of her house. And I always remember that parking over there is scarce, honey. Oh my gosh. And the only reason why we got really good parking, or a lot of the time, well, Nene had the handicap parking, so she always had parking in front of her house. That was key. And then there was a driveway right ahead that, they lived in that house for well over 20, 30, 40 years at this point. So everybody knew them and everybody knew everybody. So when my dad would pop up, they would let him park either there or across the street. It was a good feel. The whole neighborhood was very nice. Miss Dottie that lived across the street, Miss Thomas that lived a couple houses down, and her granddaughter Tawana, we all went to school together. So sometimes Nene would take her to school. Nene would take her to the Boys and Girls Club and drop her off because she's literally 2 houses away from us. So it was such a vibe. I'm just plugging in my little flat iron. It was such a vibe. I really enjoyed my childhood. I can't speak too much about it. All I can say is I enjoyed it. It was great. It was great. Nene showed up to all my plays. I will never forget this one particular play. I was at the Boys and Girls Club, and it's called The Chinese Cinderella, and I got the role of the one evil stepsister. I had a lot of lines. And I was excited because at that point in time, I really loved acting. And Nene showed up. Auntie was there. My cousins / uncles were there. I don't know what to call them because technically they're my uncles, but we're all around the same age. So it was like, this is my cousin and my uncle. To this day, I don't know what they are. They're my cousins and my uncles, but whatever. They were there, and I'm like peeking out into the crowd. I can see her, I can see Auntie, I see everybody, but I didn't see my dad. Daddy said he was coming, and he did not show up, and it hurt my heart a lot. There was family issues that were going on, but I still felt like my play though, like the one night, like really everybody else showed up and you did not show up. I don't think I've forgiven him to this day. I have never said anything about it, but it really bothered me that he did not show up. But Nene was there. Nene showed up to my cultural extravaganza in the 8th grade, and I did this big dance, and I was in like multiple dances, and I had a blast. I was very proud. She was there. I visited her while I was in high school, because again, every school that I went to, elementary was up the block, and then up the block from elementary was middle school, and then from middle school I went to Richmond Hill, and that was like up the block and around the corner. So I would either walk to Nene's house in the morning, go to her house in the afternoon, or if I was taking a ride with Daddy, because Daddy helped take care of Nene too, take her to her doctor's appointments, come by and check in on her and all of that, and I take a ride. And Daddy and Nene, because they like to talk, my gosh, when the two of them get together, you cannot stop them from talking. I kid you not. I would go upstairs in Auntie's house. I write her a note on her refrigerator. Hey Auntie, I was here. I took a soda. And if she cooked, I'd make me a bowl or something, clean up after myself. I'd watch TV, and Daddy said, all right, time to go. Get my little kisses. Speaking of kisses, Nene would give me one big juicy kiss right when I see her, and another when I'm leaving, right here. Always, 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 always. I always look forward to those kisses. Not even gonna hold you. I felt like even as an adult, I would still lean in. She'd grab my face and give me a big ass juicy kiss right on my forehead. Granddaughter. That's how she called me. And when she moved down to Texas, because she no longer lives in New York anymore, she moved down to Texas, I want to say maybe 10 years ago. Just about 10 years ago. Me and Daddy dropped her off in the airport. I took her inside, so Daddy had to stay with the car, and I was the last person to drop her off. Like, literally the last person she saw in New York was me. I got my kiss, and I shed my little tears. I'm like, wow, my grandma's moving to Texas. What's up with that? But that's something that she wanted to do, so we did it. And I was sad. That was very sad. But I called her. I sent pictures, all of that. Even now as a fully grown adult in her late 20s, I still called her. I still checked in on her. I asked Auntie, how's Nene doing? I'll ask Daddy, how's Nene doing? I call her myself, how you doing? One time I called randomly and my Uncle John was there, and I haven't spoken to Uncle John in years. And I'm like, hey, hi Nene, it's me, Caitlin. And she's like, oh, hey, guess who's here? Your Uncle John. I'm like, oh my gosh. What are the odds of that? And it was great. We had such a loving relationship. And anytime I called her, if I never could remember when my birthday was, which is not an option, I always will remember, she's always going to tell me. She's going to tell me, oh, my youngest grand, and your birthday is February 27th. And I'm like, you bet not forget it. You bet not. Oh my goodness, that lady. She was so funny. She really was funny. And we talk on the phone for a little bit and I make sure she's eating and everything is okay. Um, she truly was an amazing human being. Really was. She's not perfect at all. At all. But I feel like parents get an opportunity to do something a little bit different when they have grandchildren. And in hopes that, their grandchildren will be treated a lot better than they were growing up, And I definitely feel like that was the case for myself and all Nene's grandchildren. But being that I am the last grandchild and my father is the youngest, we share something in common. And speaking of something in common, story on how I got my name Caitlin. I love my name, by the way. Love, love, love my name. And the way it even came about was my pregnancy. The entire pregnancy, and they told him that he was having a boy. And of course, my father wanted to name it Junior. So if it was a boy, it was automatically going to be a Walter. No matter what, it was going to be Walter. And it just so happened when I came out, and it was like, congratulations, Mr. Kelly, you're having a girl. And he's like, what? That's not what you told me. Put her back. So they did not have a name prepared for me at all. Because, if you say I'm having a boy, we're not really expecting to make any changes at the last second. Like, that's what you said is what you said. And it just wasn't the truth. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I was doing in the womb. But obviously, your girl's a girl. So, they had to figure out a name. Now, my name is actually made up of two names. My grandmother's middle name, she's Frances Kate Kelly. My father is Walter Lynn Kelly. So, they put Kate and Lynn, and now you got Caitlin. So, if you ask him who made up the name, he's going to tell you he made it up. Technically, if you put it that way, I guess so. But there are other Caitlins, and they spell it either very similar to the way I spell my name, which is Katelyn, and then you have those that spell it Kailyn, which I will never understand it. I will never get it. If you ask me, the way I spell my name should be the correct way, but that's just me. That's just me. Because how are you spelling Kate? Kait. That doesn't sound like Kate to me. What is the I? Like, get out of here with that. No tea, no shade to those who spell their name that way. I'm just throwing shade because that's just what I do. But yes. So technically, if you leave it to him, he'll say he made up the name. I don't care. And then I have my middle name from my auntie, Arlene. And then, again, Lynn. So it's Caitlin, Arlene, Lynn, Kelly. Don't ask me why I got a second Lynn in there. Daddy gave me his middle name again. So, like, Lynn. So, whatever. It's cute. I'm always going to be like, let me tell you how I got my name. Especially with people like, I love your full name. Your name sounds like a movie star name. Your name sounds so famous. And I'm sitting here like, thank you. First off, you see how shiny this hair is. You see the shine. And you see the movement, okay? Are we not serving with this hair right now? We're getting there. So that's how I got my name. So I share a name with my grandmother. And my auntie actually shares the whole name except the middle name. The middle names are different. So you have Frances Kate Kelly, then you have Frances Arlene Kelly. That's auntie. Auntie never wanted to be a junior, even though on Nene's documents she's a senior. That's besides me. I would not name my firstborn after myself. I would not. But that's something that she wanted to do. So auntie goes by Fran. Auntie never liked going by Frances. She's always going by Fran. People who known her in the street is Fran. Never been Frances. And I respect it. And I'm happy to be sharing names with great women in my family, So, me and auntie share a name with Nene. And I love that. I love that for us. Anyway. That's that. I wanted to call to tell her that I was in beauty school because I like to keep up and tell her what's going on in my life and everything and let her know that she's not forgotten about and that she's well loved. At least she's well loved by me and everybody else because everybody called her. All her grandkids called her, checked on her, saw her, Daddy went down to see her. Auntie's always there. Uncle John's always. Aunt Diane is always. Everybody's always there or calling or some way. She knew she was loved, and well taken care of. And I called to tell her. I was like, "Oh, hey, Nene, I just called to tell you that I'm in beauty school." But at this point in time, her hearing is going. And she's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "I'm in beauty school." She's like, "Huh?" And I'm sitting here like, cosmetology school. So I'm like, if I just say it a different way, maybe maybe she'll get what I'm trying to say. No. No, she did. Oh, there's my clip. No, she did not. I am like, for 5 minutes, I'm trying to figure out how in the world do I say and tell her that I'm in beauty school. And at this point, I'm yelling all different ways. I'm in school for hair, Cosmo school, this app. I was really trying to get her to hear me, all of that. Long story short, she never heard me. She never heard me. And I wasn't like getting frustrated or anything. I just found it extremely funny that she just could not hear me. And I'm like yelling into the phone, yelling. And then at some point I said, "It's okay, Nene, I love you anyway." And she says, "And I love you too." And I was like, you know what? That was the most important thing you needed to hear, that I loved you. That's it. That's it. So Auntie went down to see her December 1st. Mind you, she passed away on the 16th. Auntie went down there December 1st for her birthday, because Auntie's birthday fell on Thanksgiving this year. So she went down to Texas. And she had asked me if I could put 4 braids in her hair with extensions. And I was sitting here like, lady, I don't do braids. But I'll do it for you, though. I will do it for you. But braids and extensions are not my specialty, but I can do it. Like I can sit there and get it done. And she only wanted 4. So it wasn't like I was doing like box braids or what have you. It was a decent sized braid. So that I was like, I can definitely get done for you. No problem at all. So she went down there with her 4 braids. Now, mind you, my auntie has had locks for 20 something years. She started growing her locks in 96. Auntie's locks, if I'm 4'11", 5 feet on a good day, Auntie's locks came right down to the butt. Auntie's locks came down to her butt. Auntie's hair, when I tell you about the Kelly family, our hair grows. Our hair grows like wildfire. We can grow some hair, okay? Which is why I never mind cutting my hair off and starting over, because at the end of the day, it's going to grow. My father is 60 years old and he still has a full headline. His hairline has not receded at all. The only thing with his hair, he's now gray. But he still has a thick, full head of hair. Hairline is sharp. You can't play with him, okay? Daddy come correct. And now he got this little beard going on. I'm saying, what got this little beard? What's going on? I digress. This video is not about him at all. So, Auntie's had locks all her life. Or at least all of my life, Auntie's had locks. And then she kind of cut the locks, reattached them, and then she switched it up, and then she was just rocking like a Caesar, which is fine. Then she started growing her hair out. Nene has not seen her in cornrows. In cornrows since the 80s. It was 2024 when she finally saw her in some cornrows, and she was losing her mind. She says, "Oh yeah, Caitlin did that for me." She's like, "Caitlin did that? This is so beautiful. Wow, I love it." She could not stop talking about the style that I did for Auntie. Now for me, there was just 4 little braids. Like, it was nothing crazy. But Nene was loving it. Nene was loving it, and I was happy she got to see it. I was so happy she got to see it. And it's crazy because, like I said before, I will dream about Nene's house because it's a place of, it's familiar to me. It's home. It's, where I consider my best years as my childhood is at Nene's house. And there's one particular dream that I had a week before she passed. I don't want to hear that I'm crazy, but tell me this ain't some weird-ish. I have a dream. And in that dream, now it's not like Nene's never in the dream. She's never the focus point of the dream. But for whatever reason, that day she was the focus point. And I'm saying to myself, this feels weird. This feels weird. But whatever. Going through with the dream. And then at some part we start hugging. But as we're hugging, it literally just felt like this was it. This was it. And I said to myself, I kid you not, make this hug count. And I hugged her with everything that I had. I can remember it, like she was wearing a white shirt and I'm holding her in my hands like this. Like I'm holding like this behind her. I'm giving it everything. I'm hugging. And I just felt like that was it. I got up in the morning. I said, that was really weird. So I called my boyfriend. I'm telling him about it. We're talking on the phone. I'm on my way to Sephora at this point. And I'm like, that was weird. I've never had a dream like that before. So it stayed on my mind for a couple of days. And then by Wednesday or was it Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday, my father texts, he calls me and he's like, it's not looking good for Nene. She's not eating. She's not doing too well. And I'm sitting here like, okay, wow. I'm not expecting to hear this, but, you know. But I just said, okay, all right, keep me in the loop. Let me know what's going on. And I didn't hear anything. Now, mind you, Nene has had plenty of scares my entire life. She had like a double bypass, a triple bypass. It was something up. And she came through with no problem. I remember her using a little heart pillow to cough, and like a little red heart pillow she would hold to cough to just, it was a big procedure. But she came out all right. Everything was good. And I honestly felt like this would be the same situation, you know? I wasn't expecting that this would be it. But when they said she wasn't eating, and then they let me know she was on hospice, and I was like, hospice? Hospice is like, this is the end. What's going on? But then again, Nene always had these little scares. I saw a little bit of crinkles somewhere over here. Get over here, girl. Get straight. And then for a few days, I didn't hear anything. So if I'm not hearing anything, I'm like, okay, she must be fine. The week to the day that I have that dream was the day she passed away. I got up. I was talking on the phone to a lady, and we were talking about all our workout plans and all the plans we have coming up and everything. And, you know, I talked to her on the phone for so long. I did laundry, went grocery shopping, came home, cleaned, put my stuff away, and then we ended our phone call. And because it's Monday, I like to relax. After I do all my chores and all of that, I want to relax. I want to chill because that's my only day off. If that means I want to sleep in the house all day, that's what I'm going to do, honey. I'm not getting up to do nothing I don't want to do on a Monday. I get up from my nap at 2:45. By 2:47, Daddy's texting me. He says, "Good afternoon, my dear daughter. My mother passed away today." And I was heartbroken. I was like, what? I'm reading the text message. I'm like, I just got up from a nap. Are you kidding me? Really? What a way to get up from a fire nap is to hear that your grandmother passed. I was just like, all right, whoa. I really wasn't expecting to hear that. I really wasn't. And that's what happened. So today is January 9th. I'm taking a flight tomorrow morning to Georgia. It's a 2.5-hour flight. Service is tomorrow. Now, speaking of the service, we're not doing a full funeral. She wanted to be cremated because she said, and I quote, she doesn't want nobody standing over her. I was like, all right, lady, I feel you on that one. Ain't nobody gonna be standing over my Nene. So she got cremated. There's a family burial in Georgia, which I've been to when I went to the family reunion. Nene took me on my first airplane flight to Georgia. She sure did. I will never forget it. We stayed at her sister's house, her Aunt Pearl. I believe Nene is the oldest. So, yes, we stayed at Aunt Pearl's house. And we went to the burial, the family burial. I don't know why. But then again, I'm like 9, 10. I'm not really paying attention. But I knew the area. I knew the area very well. But, and when Auntie told me that that's what we're doing, I was like, I remember that place. She was like, you remember that place? I said, yes, I remember you took us there. There was no bathroom and I had to pee outside in the bushes. I had to pee. She's like, you know, Jawan said the same thing. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to forget that. What? I'm not going to forget that's the very first time I learned the difference between hot cereal and cold cereal. I wanted to be different. So I was like, let me get some hot cereal. I had no idea that was grits. And it was grits that's just regular grits. They had no salt, no pepper, no cheese, no nothing. And I struggled to sit there and eat them damn grits. And at some point they got tired of me sitting there and they was like, get up, you're done. I was like, I learned my lesson. I will never ask for a hot grits again unless it's the way I like it. You see how this hair just come back alive? You see? Look at the shine, honey. Look at the shine on this hair. This is good hair. This is some good hair. I had to check my emails to remember where I got it from. But this is 3 bundles of 20 inches and a 5x5 closure. something like that. I think it's a 5x5 closure, 20 inches, 3 bundles. All 3 bundles is in here. This here is this is the pony. This is cute. I did do some face framing layers in the front. And that's that. Whew. This part is exactly the way I need it. I don't need to hit it with a hot comb because it's already like really, really flat. So that is that. The only thing about laying this and then swooping some baby hairs and we are set for tomorrow. I don't feel like I'm gonna set my lace until tomorrow morning. I don't think that's what I want to do right now. What I want to do is move that back in there. Get my little baby hairs right. So that's one less thing I gotta do in the morning. Besides, up here get hot. So yeah. That was a fun family reunion. I went to 2 of them that Nene bought me to. And I had a blast. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun seeing family. I can remember these people to this day. I called my Aunt Pearl, which is my grandmother's sister, to give her my condolences. I'm sitting here like, well, I lost a grandmother, but someone lost a sister, someone lost a mother, someone lost a cousin, a great auntie, you know? So they need my condolences just like I would want theirs. And I haven't spoken to Aunt Pearl since the day I left the last family reunion. And when I answered the phone, no, I called her on her cell phone, and it dawned on me that Auntie said, don't call her on her cell phone because she's not going to answer. She's not going to answer because she's not too tech savvy. So call her house phone first, and she'll answer from there. So I was like, okay, whatever works. So I definitely called the cell phone first. And then I realized what Auntie said, and I called the house. And I answered, and I was like, hi, it's Caitlin. And she was like, I know who you are. I know exactly who you are. She says, I be keeping up with you. I remember when you was in the police academy, and now you do hair, and then you do makeup. And I'm sitting here like, how you know me like that? Who been telling you my business? Who been telling you my business? I didn't tell her like that. But, of course, Auntie's been keeping her up to date, and I love that, you know? Where are my scissors? Right in my face. Right in my face. So yes, called my Aunt Pearl, gave her my condolences, and we were catching up and talking. And mind you, I haven't spoken to this lady literally in 20 years. 20 years. But she still remembered me. And she's like, I really would love to get into some lashes. I said, you want to do lashes? She's like, yeah. I said, I'll bring you some. The lashes are right in my bag over there. With the lash glue and the tweezers, I did not forget. The lash glue is over there, ready to roll. To make sure she's set. All that good stuff. Here you go. So I have my edges out because I just wasn't going to be dealing with that. So I have a little bit of some pomade gel to just kind of swoop that up and out the way. That's all I needed her to do. Again, I'm going to fix this in the morning, but I kind of want to complete the fantasy for you guys right now. So yeah. That's that. I spoke to my Uncle John, gave him my condolences, and then he texted me today. He's like, hey, how do you spell your other sister's name? And the way he spelled my name, I corrected him on my sister's name, and I said, well, my name, LOL, is Katelyn. Do you know how mad I would have been in the obituary if I would have seen my name spelled wrong? Mind you, the event's not about me, but I still would have been like, WTF, come on now. And who ain't see this? I'm glad I said something. And I should have said something the first time when he texted me and I saw it, but I was like, now it's not the time. No, it's not the time. I thought maybe it was like, autocorrect, that type of stuff. But no, that's really how he thought my name was spelled. The other common way. I had to break that out of people. Gotta break that habit out of people. It is not that way. But anyway, that's what it was. And that's what it is. As of right now, I have not had any dreams about her house. I haven't. I don't think I have. Because I feel like I would remember it, but I don't think I had any dreams recently about her house. And I used to dream about her house at least once a week. Maybe more than that. I don't know, but I haven't. It was weird. It's a weird feeling. Because, you know, if you lose somebody when you're like 5, you don't remember them. Like, apparently, I always thought that my grandfather had passed away a long time ago, but I was actually alive and well and like 5 when he passed away. And I didn't go to the funeral. I don't remember him, and I don't think my father had like a close relationship with him, but I don't remember meeting this man. But apparently he was alive and I was alive at the same time, but he died a long time ago. But no, that's how that is. In any case, let me finish fixing this here. You know, y'all know me, I get sidetracked very easily. Yeah. Let me get these baby hairs as bright as I can. A little Nairobi. And I'll just put that right up in there, because why not? Now that I'm 30, I might as well just say I'm 30 now. Having a loss like this is like, wow, really? And all I can say is the nerve of this lady. I know it's like in a joking manner, but again, you have to laugh to keep from crying, and it's just like, wow. And I think the most weirdest thing, the most weird coincidence is not only did I lose my grandmother, my coworker Angel lost her grandmother, my other coworker Lily lost her grandmother, someone's mother passed. So I'm sitting here like, what is happening around me? I lost my dog last month. Like, really, y'all? Y'all can't pick no other time. Like, I don't want to say this is inconveniencing me. I mean that in like the best way. I promise you I do. Not that this is inconveniencing me. It's just like, this is a lot to take in. There's a lot to take in. So that's how I feel. Like, wowzers, everybody. So yeah, this is an adjustment. And I feel like I adjusted, but this is something, I have to travel for this. I've never hopped, I've hopped on a plane and taken myself to South Carolina one time, twice actually. But this is different when you're traveling for a funeral. I have to get a hotel. I gotta rent a car. I've never done this. I'm flying to a state I've never flew to the state before. Or I have not flown to this state by myself before. And all the flights I have taken recently, my boyfriend was always with me. So that's a bit much. So I don't have my security person with me. The person who knows all about flights and everything. I tell you, this guy knows all about flights. Legit, he really does. So my little safety net is gone. Well, it's not gone, he's just not coming with. And I understand. Sometimes I just gotta make big girl moves. This is one of those big girl moves I gotta make. It's definitely, it feels like, wow, I can't believe I have to do this. And I feel the anxiety, like the weight in my chest is like, I'm really catching a flight tomorrow to this rural part of Georgia for my grandmother's funeral. This is wild. This is beyond me right now. But I have to do what I have to do, you know? This is, that's all I keep saying. Like, this is wild. Like, really, lady? Like, out of everything that you could have been doing, stay alive. Stay alive. I was not expecting all of this at all. But I digress. Do I have any messages? No, nobody cares about me. Make sure this is upright. And now that I've actually finished my Eben spray, and I said I wasn't going back to Eben spray, but this is Isha. I haven't heard any negative things about Isha. My Eben spray is officially in the garbage. And I don't even have their lace glue. I have the Lace Guru, her stuff, which I feel like all lace is the same. So all glue is the same. Yep. So that's what's going on with your girl. I'm just getting this lace down. Get all these little straggly pieces up and out the way. Great. Um, I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot of tears. Every now and then I catch myself crying, especially when I realize there's more stuff I have to do. And I remember when I really broke down for the first time, because when Daddy told me about it, I had a couple of Denzel tears, and I was still waking up from a nap. And that night, my boyfriend was stopping by, and he's like coming to the door, and I'm walking around, I'm picking up stuff or whatever, and I said to myself, it was like a random thought, like, I gotta get a dress, I gotta get an outfit, and that's when the reality sets in, like, oh snap, my granny passed. Wow, I have to prepare. This isn't like, oh, this is it, and on to the next. It's like, no, this is it. There's a lot of stuff to do. And that was one of those things. And then come to find out it's cold in Georgia. Like, what reason do you guys have to be in 20-degree weather right now? Yeah, ain't never cold. But there's a storm, a little northern eastern, middle eastern, something going on. So, that's that. And, yeah. Makeup, y'all know me, I'm a makeup girly, but I'm also a crying girly. And I just feel like there's no point. There's no point to be wearing any makeup, at least like under eye makeup. Why? Why? I'm gonna cry it away. I'm sure of it. Last week I went to the movies with my boyfriend and we watched Sonic. And right before I got there, I was thinking like, oh, okay, it's Saturday. I'm going to do Auntie's hair on Monday because Auntie's leaving ahead of me. Now, I was always going to do Auntie's hair again for the Super Bowl. And I think there was some other time that she was going back down to Texas. She wanted braids again. She's like, everybody loved it. It was a big hit. Nene loved it. She couldn't stop talking about it. Thank you so much. Yada, yada, yada. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, again, my 4 little braids, but everybody was happy with it. So yeah, I knew I would be doing her hair again, but I didn't think I'd be doing it for a funeral, let alone Nene's funeral. I'm calling it a funeral even though it's a burial, but it's still a send-off, I guess. So that was something. And I had to think about it, and I just was crying and crying. I'm like, okay, I gotta get it together. I gotta go into this movie theaters, and you don't want to make people sad around you. And so I held it together. And the movie was very funny. I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though the movie was definitely not for adults. I enjoyed it. And I really only saw it because I like Jim Carrey. And I grew up watching him in The Mask. I grew up watching him in Bruce Almighty and all his other really, really good movies. This hair looks good, y'all. Yeah. Ugh. And I'm keeping it straight. So I have less work to do with the hair while I'm down there. Because I don't want to be doing anything else, honestly. I really don't want to be doing all of that. So I'm just going through, making sure all these other little pieces are as straight as I want them to be. Yeah. So all my little my big girl moves as far as traveling. I mean, my boyfriend's dropping me off at the airport. I gotta pick up a rental car and travel about 45 minutes to an hour to get to my hotel, settle in. But Pearl's house is 5 minutes away, and everybody's hotel is 5 minutes away from her. So that's like really, really good. And I'll be back on Monday. My flight's at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I took today off with Sephora. Because mind you, when I found out about her passing, it was Monday and I had work the next day. And I showed up to work every single day after that. Every single day. I did not use any bereavement. I showed up, showed out. I won a contest. Who could pull the most services in December? And I pulled fucking through. Excuse my French. I pulled through. And won the contest. I was opening up credit cards. I was pulling service left and right. Like, I was working even though my heart was still like hurting. Every now and then, like, I had to take a step back in the back. There's one random song from Jasmine Sullivan, Pick Up Your Feelings, played on the radio in Sephora, and I was like, can I step to the back for a second? And I had to stop myself from crying because I had a full face of makeup on. Full fucking face. And that's what really stops me from crying, is when I know my face is on and I don't have nothing to fix it. Nothing to fix it. It's different when you have one little Denzel tear. When you have so much tears running down your face. And when I cry, my eyes get super red, they get super puffy, and you can tell that I have been crying. You can tell that I'm upset or something is going on, and I hate that feeling. But yes, that's exactly what happened, and I kept it together while I was there. I really did. So kudos for me. Kudos for me for keeping my feelings together. And today I got up at 5:30 in the morning for a 10 o'clock shift, and my heart just couldn't do it. I can't fake it another day. I have so much to do, and a lot of this stuff I put off because I was procrastinating. Very much procrastinating. And I'm procrastinating because who wants to get ready for their grandmother's funeral? Nobody does. I don't. Who wants to pack? Who wants to find a hotel and all this other extra stuff? I don't want to do that. Not because I don't love her. It's just that, wow, this is the end of an era. It makes me think to myself, when she was passing, was she alone? Was she comfortable? Although they said she was comfortable and they had her on like a morphine drip and everything, was she comfortable? They said she was at peace. What does that mean? Did she pass when someone was with her? Did she pass? I don't know. I don't know. But I wanted to call the nursing home. They took care of her for years. They did the work that we couldn't do. And I wanted to thank them for everything. Because I know Nene. And Nene is not the easiest person. I could say that because I know her and I love her. And I know she wasn't the easiest probably to deal with. But somebody has to do it. And they did. And that's all I can tell them is thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Every time I called, she answered. Or the people will answer and give her the phone and make sure she's okay. But yeah. There's so many other stories that I can remember about Nene. One more other little story. We would have this thing called pigging out. She's like, we gonna pig out tonight. And that could either be pizza from Luigi's around the corner from us. It could be Subway's that was around the corner from us. It could have been Crown Chicken that was around the corner from us. It could have been anything. She'll get the Zeppelis, whatever, garlic knots, and we would watch a movie or, watch. I remember High School Musical came out, the first one, and we gathered around the TV. Now, normally we don't eat in the TV room, but that night she made an exception and she let us eat in the TV room. And it was almost every Friday night we gather the four of us around. All right, what are we getting this week? All right, Subways. And she'll get me the meatball marinara. To this day, I don't get nothing else other than a meatball marinara from Subways, if I ever go. But that's all I ever get. There was so much other stuff. So much other stuff. Daddy told me, no, I'm not getting you a keyboard. Actually, grandmother, Nene said yes. Nene said yes, and I got a keyboard. I only knew how to play Human Nature and a little bit of Beyonce Ego, and I tried to learn how to play music, but I really just couldn't figure out how to learn to read music. So therefore, I never really finished it. But my keyboard is still around. It's in my parents' house. It really is. This lady, man. I love her. I really do. To be her youngest grandchild, the one who spent so much time with her. Like my oldest cousin from my Aunt Fran. Yes, she lived there and definitely Nene took care of her as well. All of that. But when you're the youngest grandchild, it holds a little weight. It holds a little weight to be the youngest grand. Not to mention we share a name and, I was like her little road dog. Everywhere she went, I went. I was just a little shadow, a little reflection of her. Although the way Aunt Pearl says, I was like a little reflection of Aunt Fran. Which is true. So, this will definitely be a day to see family. Especially family I have not seen ever. I haven't seen Uncle John in well over 20 years. I haven't seen his wife in well over 20 years. I do not have a relationship with my cousins over there. My Aunt Diane, I saw her recently, but that's only because she visits Aunt Fran in New York. Other than that, if she wasn't visiting New York, I probably would not have seen her either. So yeah, this will definitely be a day of reconnecting. We're going back to Aunt Pearl's house. I haven't been there since the day I left. I remember exactly how it looked, and when I put it in on Google Maps, the house looked exactly the same. Exactly the same. The only thing that's different is there is no place set that was all the way to the right or all the way to the left. And I had this little, I don't know if it's still there. Hold on, let me see. Because I remember I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. No, you see this little, let me see if I can get up in here. This little dark spot was this time when I was at Aunt Pearl's house and I was riding a bike and I slipped on the pavement and cut my shoulder up really bad right here. Never forget it. Took 20 years to heal, by the way. For years I still saw the scar, and now it's like I could barely find it, but that's a scar I got when I was down there with that. And I think I have one on my knee as well. And that one is also still there. So I had a lot of memories, a lot of great memories. I'm very proud to be a Kelly. I'm very proud of my family, everything that we have accomplished. All of us have our own accomplishments. If it's not the military, if it's not police enforcement, if it's not, going to college. Like my Uncle John, all 5 of his kids went to college and all of them graduated. Now all their kids are having kids. Me, I just got my cosmetology license. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I'm doing my thing. I'm doing what I love. And everybody else is doing what they love too. It's nice to be a family unit, and it just works out so well for us. None of us ever been in jail. None of us ever had any drug issues. We don't fight amongst each other. We don't physically fight amongst each other. Like, I've never seen that on my father's side of the family ever. Ever, ever, ever. They hold themselves to a high standard. And they're not perfect by any means, but it's something to be said. It is something to be said when your family does not scrap amongst each other. There's no drunk uncle running around, there's no discrepancies, no jealousy, no nonsense. It's just great vibes. Great vibes. So I'm forever grateful to have a family like this. I wish we were a lot closer, but everyone lives so far. Uncle John's in Texas, Aunt Diane's in Kansas, me and the rest of us are in New York, and Auntie talking about she moving down to North Carolina. I'm sitting here like, get the F out of here. North Carolina, what is in North Carolina for you besides your best friends and everybody else? Like, what? I'm not trying to hear that. But that just gives me a place that I can travel to. It gives me a place to go and see her. So, those are the chronicles and what's over here and what's happening. Did I tell you guys I still have some of my hair? If this hair ain't laid, honey. Laid. Alright, Ish. Ish. I feel like this can come up a smidgen more. But, the hair is laid. And I asked the boyfriend to get me some shades. He's on his way over here. He's spending the night tonight because I got an 11 o'clock flight in the morning. I can't believe I actually have to take a flight out. That's all I can keep saying is I can't believe. Wow. So yeah. I'm 29 years old and I just lost my grandmother. And I am coming to grips. And honestly, to this day, this dream still freaks me out. Because I just knew. I knew. She knew. And the crazy part is, my cousin had a similar dream. As I was talking to the phone on Auntie, because I don't want to, yes, Aunt Fran is my favorite auntie because Auntie lived in the same state as me. I lived with this lady, so she's only my favorite because we have such a tight relationship. Not that I don't love my Aunt Diane, and I really do. I just don't have as tight, or I'm as close with her as I am with Auntie. So me and her were talking on the phone, and I said, Auntie, I don't want to sound crazy, but can I tell you that I had a dream about Nene? And she said, tell me. So I told her about it, and she says, no, I don't think you're crazy, because Candace had a similar dream too. I said, get out of here. She says, yeah. I was like, okay. See, if I just had a dream, that's weird. But I'm not the only person. And mind you, we've never had a dream like that. Like, I've never dreamt like that before. I'm an avid dreamer. That's why I love sleeping. And I've never dreamt like that. I've never had an experience where it felt so real to tell myself, this is important. Remember this. Give it everything you got. I said that to myself because I just knew that this was it. Wow. I digress. I'm not going to get emotional today. I have to save up my tears for tomorrow and save up my tears for Sunday. And the boyfriend's getting me some shades. Because I'm like, you can't go to a funeral with no shades, okay? You could do a lot. But going to a funeral with no shades is wild. I will have my shades on. I bought a little bit of makeup with me, like lip gloss, eyebrow gel, you know, a little bit of blush, but nothing for like contour, concealer, foundation, nothing that's I'm gonna have to take off. So this needs to go in a bag right now because I don't want to forget that if I need it. But y'all see the hair. Hair is ready for tomorrow. Hair is ready for the funeral, honey. This is exactly how it's going to be. I'm not gonna vlog while I'm there, but if I make like little clips of, you know, different things that I'm experiencing, I'll definitely put it in here. I'm traveling to Georgia. Wow. And the crazy part is I was just saying to my boyfriend yesterday, I was like, you know, if she was in New York, this would be a lot easier. And then it dawned on me, it really wouldn't matter if she was in New York because she wanted to be buried in the family plot in Georgia. So it would not matter. I'd be taking a flight regardless. I'd be taking a flight. But my hair looks good. Now that's one thing Nene know I know how to do some hair, okay? She's seen it in the flesh, in person. She saw the braids. And Auntie got the same braids, but she got one extra, so she got 5 braids. And she's like, Nene liked it that way. At first, I was going to do like a little design, like do one this way, the other one this way, that and that. And she was like, no, just do it straight back. She said, Nene liked it. I said, whatever Nene wants, Nene gonna get, okay? Nene loved it, I loved it. But, this is me. I'm starting off the year with my first official death in my family. Not that I've never went to a funeral before, but it's different when it's in your house. It's very different when it's in your house. And this is my first loss. And I did really well this month. I still went to work. I still went to the salon. I gave it everything that I got. And I told them, like, yeah, I'm not going to be here on the 10th and the 11th. And I told Sephora I'm not going to be here on the 12th. I may be back Tuesday. But once I found out I have 5 days of bereavement, I'm taking my days. Because I really could have called out earlier within the month, and I did not. So I'm taking my days. I'm taking what's owed to me. Because I deserve it. I'm a great employee in both locations, so... Which reminds me, I should send them a quick reminder to let them know I'm not coming in tomorrow. Although all the paperwork is there, there's a little reminder on the front desk. But just so that they're not like shell-shocked, oh my gosh, I forgot she wasn't coming in. So at least they're like thoroughly prepared that I won't be here for 2 days. Wowzers. That's all I can say. But that's okay. I'm gonna be okay. My grandmother, I love her. And she was saying, I love you too, and there's nothing you could do about it. She always said that. So, that's my lady. I'm going to show out and give her my well wishes, give her my love, send her off. And then we're having a repast back at Aunt Pearl's house. And then I'll, you know, chill out and be in my hotel for a day. And maybe I'll travel. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll travel around Atlanta while I'm there. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, my battery is dying, and I think that's some BS. It always wants to die when I get to the end of my video. The nerve. But I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with me. If you like my video, drop a thumbs up so people can see why you like me and get more of this authentic personality. Okay? Who else is going to give it to you the way I give it to you? Nobody other than me. And if you have something nice to say, drop a comment down below because I do read all the comments and I'm not gonna hold you, but you might as well go ahead and hit the subscribe button because why not? Come on, TikTok is going away. You need more people to watch, so you might as well watch me build my career as a licensed hairstylist. I gotta put that out there. A licensed hairstylist